Our topic is birth of criminalistic. The father of criminalistic is Hans Gross. Si Hans Gross ay kinilala bilang isang Austrian criminal jurist na sumulat ng Handbook of Coroners, Police Official, Military Policemen noong 1893. Na ang ibig sabihin ng coroners ay isang pampublikong opisyal na ang pangunahing tungkulin ay magtanong sa at sa pangkalahatan ay kinilala bilang ang taon ng kapanganakan ng larangan ng criminalistic. Pamamagitan ng isang pagsisiyasat sa sanhi ng kamatayan kapag may dahilan upang isipin na ang kamatayan ay maaaring hindi dahil sa mga natural na dahilan. Criminal investigation. Tinutukoy dito ang cross-transfer ng ebidensya tulad ng dumi, fingerprint, hibla ng carpet o buhok mula sa kriminal patungo sa biktima. In 1909, Archibald Rees founded the Institut de Police Scientifique of the University of Lausanne, the first school of forensic science in the world. Si Archibald Rees, bilang isang professor, inilaan niya ang kanyang sarili sa gawaing pang-agham at nakuha ang reputasyon bilang isang kilalang criminologist sa mundo. Sherlock Holmes, written by Arthur Conan Doyle. In the late 19th century, he made great use to trace evidence, such as shoes and tire impression, as well as a fingerprint, ballistic, and handwriting analysis. Now known as question document examination, Holmes used analytical chemistry for blood residue analysis as well as toxicology examination and determination for poison. He used ballistic by measuring bullet calibers and matching them with suspect murder weapon. Areas of forensic science or criminalistic na ang ibig sabihin ay kasangkot sa koleksyon, pagsusuri at interruption ng pisikal na ebidensya na ginagawa ng mga kriminal na aktibidad. A. Art of forensics. Concern the art authentication case to help research the work authenticity. Art authentication methods are used to detect and identify forgery, faking, and copying of artworks. Example, painting. Computation forensics concern the development of algorithm and software to assist forensic examination. 3. Criminalistic is the application of various science to answer questions relating to examination and comparison in biological evidence, impression evidence such as fingerprint, footwear impression, and tire track. Digital forensics is the application to proven scientific method and techniques in order to recover data for electronic and digital data. Fingerprint analysis is used as a means of forensic identification intended as an identification tool similar to fingerprint. Forensics aerial photography is the study of interpretation of aerial photographic evidence. Forensics anthropology is the application of physical anthropology in a legal settings, usually for the recovery and identification of skeleton, human remain. Forensics archaeology is the application of a combine of archaeological techniques and forensic science and typically in law enforcement. Forensics astronomy use method from astronomy to determine the celestial constellation for forensics purposes. Forensics botany is the study of plant life in order to gain information regarding the possible crime. Forensics chemistry is the study of detection and identification of illicit drugs.
Forensics optimary. Forensics optimary is the study of glasses and other eyewear relating to the crime scene and criminal investigations. Ibig sabihin, ang forensics optimary ay ang pag-aaral ng mga salamin sa mga mata ng iba pang eyewear na may kaugnay sa mga eksena ng mga krimen at siyasat ng kriminal. Forensics pathology is a field in which the principles of medicine and pathology are applied to determine a cause of death or injury in the context of legal inquiry. Ibig sabihin, ang forensics pathology ay isang larangan kung saan inilalapat ang mga prinsipyo ng medisina at patolohiya upang matukoy ang sanhi ng kamatayan at pinsala sa konteksto ng mga isang legal na pagtatanong. Forensics podiatry is an application of the study of feet, footprint, or footwear and their traces to analyze scenes of crime and to establish personal identity in forensics examinations. Nakatulong ang forensics podiatrist na kilalanin ang mga namatay na tao sa pamamagitan ng paghahambing ng mga natukusang bahagi ng katawan na nauugnay sa paa sa mga medical na record. Forensic psychiatry. Ang forensic psychiatry ay isang specialty ng psychiatry at nauugnay sa criminology. Sinasaklaw nito ang interface na pagitan ng batas at psychiatry. Forensic psychology. Forensic psychology is the practice of psychology applied to the law. Ito ay ang paggamit ng scientificong kaalaman at mga pamamaraan upang tumulong sa pagsagot ng mga legal na tanong na nagmumula sa kriminal, sibil, kontraktual o iba pang hadikatura sa paglilitis. Forensic seismology. Ito ang paggamit ng mga teknik sa seismology upang tuklasin at pag-aralan ang malalayong phenomena. Forensic serology is the study of the body fluids, tumatalakay sa pagkilala at paglalarawan ng biological, inventory, samples tulad ng dugo, semen, laway, pawis, gatas ng ina at anumang iba pang likido ng katawan. Forensic social work is the intersection of social work and the legal system. Kung minsan ay tinatawag din criminal justice social worker. Inalalapat ang mga prinsipyo at kadablasang sa social work sa mga isyu at paglilitis ng nauugnay sa batas. Forensic toxicology is the study of the effect of drugs and poisons in the human body. Nagsasagawa ng mga pagsusuri ng mga sample na nakolekta sa mga forensics pathologists sa panahon ng autopsy o ng mga investigador sa pinangyarihang krimen. Forensics video analysis, pagsusuri sa mga buhok at hibla at serology tulad ng pagsusuri ng DNA. Mobile device forensics is the scientific examination, comparison of evidence found in mobile phone. Halimbawa, nauugnay sa pagbawi ng digital na ebidensya o data mula sa isang mobile device sa ilalim ng forensically sound na kondisyon. Trace evidence comes in many forms katulad ng pintura, buhok, hibla, tubig, salamin, lupa, tape at pambilya are the most common type of evidence that are submitted to the forensics laboratory. Wildlife forensic sciences is a scientist who use chemical techniques to investigate wildlife crimes. Ito ang mga hayop, bahagi ng produkto ng hayop at iba pang ebidensyang nakolekta ng mga inspektor ng wildlife at iba pang opisyal. Bloodstain pattern analysis seeks to define the facts surrounding an investigation by the use of the physical nature of bloodstain ay ang paggamit ng laki, hugis at mga pattern ng pamahagi ng mga mantsa ng dugo na nakikita sa pinangyarihan ng krimen upang muling buuin ang mga nakaganapan ng pagdanak ng dugo.
Year 44. Death of an emperor. Julius Caesar is assassinated. Following this event, a physician performed an autopsy and determined that of the 23 wounds found on the body, only one was fatal. The assassination of Julius Caesar is a well-documented historical event. It's true that an autopsy was performed on his body, and it was determined that only one of the 23 wounds inflicted on him was fatal. This event marked a significant turning point in Roman history and led to a series of political and social changes. Year 600. Fingerprints first used to determine identity. Arabic merchants would take a livestock fingerprint and attach it to the bill. The use of fingerprints for identification dates back to ancient times, and you're correct that Arabic merchants were among the early users of this method. They would take a deep store fingerprint and attach it to a bill as a form of security or proof of obligation. This historical practice laid the foundation for the modern use of fingerprints in forensic science and law enforcement to identify individuals and solve crimes. Year 1000. Chinese use fingerprints to sign legal documents. Yes, the use of fingerprints as a form of personal identification and a means to sign legal documents has a long history in China as well. Chinese civilization have employed fingerprint impressions on legal documents and contracts for centuries, similar to the way Arabic merchants used them.
The first one is year 1876. Cesar Lombroso publishes The Criminal Man, which states that criminal can be identified and classified by their physical characteristics. And in year 1880, Henry Folds and William James Herschel published a paper describing the uniqueness of fingerprints, and also a scientist named Francis Galton adapted their findings for the court. The following patterns, plain arc, tented arc, simple loop, central pocket loop, double loop, lateral pocket loop, accidental, and plain chord, are identified as Galton's system. In year 1880, Henry Folds shows that the powder dusting will expose someone's latent fingerprint. And in year 1882, Alphonse Bertillon develops his anthropometric identification system. And the next is the year 1887. Coroner's Act proved that coroners were to determine the causes of sudden, violent, and unnatural deaths. And also, the first Sherlock Holmes story is published by Arthur Conan Doyle. In year 1888, there's a system using a various measurement of physical features and bones called anthropometry, which used throughout the US and Europe. Using this system, a criminal's information could be reduced to a set of numbers. The next year is 1889. Alexandre Lacazan, he shows that marks on bullets could be matched in a rifled gun barrel. Year 1882, Juan Vucetich is an Argentinian police officer. He is the first to use fingerprints as an evidence in a murder investigation. And also, Juan Vucetich created a system of fingerprint identification called dactyloscopy.